May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
How are you today?
I'm fine, sir.
What is your full name?
My full name is Nancy Sharma.
And how may I call you?
You may call me with my first name, Nancy.
Nancy, do you have any ID with you?
Yes, I have my passport here.
Okay. Nancy, my name is Pramod Kumar and I'll be taking your IELTS interview today. IELTS interview is taken into 3 parts. I'll first start with introductory questions. I'll ask you some questions about clothes.
Yes.
Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Shall we begin the interview?
Yeah, sure.
Nancy, tell me, what are the common clothing items in your area?
There are different variety of man and woman wear in my area, different for different age group. Jeans and t-shirts are common among youngsters, and male adults used to wear formal pants and shirts, and females like to wear suits and saris.
Okay. What do you wear most in regular routine?
Well, I feel comfortable in jeans and shirts, and while at home I like to wear suits sometimes.
Do you like fashionable clothes or normal?
No, I'm not a fashion freak, and I try to remain as simple as possible, and so I don't usually buy trendy and expensive clothes because I give priority to comfort rather than looks.
Right. Do you spend a lot of money on clothes?
No, I am a utility driven person, and I also belong to a middle class family, so I try to save money by buying clothes which are not so expensive, unlike those in shopping malls and expensive branded outlets which sell their products at very high price despite flat 50 to 60% discount.
Are you brand conscious while shopping for clothes?
No, I'm not brand conscious while shopping because I don't like to waste money on the branded clothes, and I also like to wear simple clothes, so I don't like to buy these branded clothes, and I usually buy the non-branded stuff.
Okay. So we just heard the introductory questions, answers from Nancy. Candidate Nancy has a good fluency, although sometimes he take pauses, and थोड़ा सा उनका मदर टंग इन्फ्लुएंस भी है. जैसे हरियाणा और पंजाब के जो कैंडिडेट्स हैं उनका मदर टंग इन्फ्लुएंस जरूर होता है. आपकी लैंग्वेज में हरियाणा से है तो थोड़ा सा हरियाणवी का टच आएगा, पंजाब से थोड़ा सा पंजाबी का टच आता है, बट दैट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम टू वरी. दैट्स कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसमें, वो इतना ज़्यादा कंसीडर नहीं होगा. बहुत ज़्यादा हैंड मूवमेंट, बहुत ज़्यादा बॉडी मूवमेंट्स की ज़रूरत भी नहीं होती है आपको आपके इंटरव्यूज़ में. और जैसे अगर हम कैंडिडेट नैन्सी को अगर हम जज करें उनके इंट्रोडक्टरी क्वेश्चंस के बेसिस पे, थोड़ा बहुत पॉजेज उन्होंने लिए हैं. शी हैज़ टेकन अ फ्यू पॉजेज एंड ऑल्दो हर आइडियाज़ वर वेरी क्लियर एंड हर क्वेश्चंस आंसर्स वर वेरी ब्रीफ. काफ़ी ब्रीफ उन्होंने शॉर्ट आंसर्स दिए हैं. दैट्स ओके. Let's see how her cue card goes. Now we'll be moving toward the cue card section. Let's see how she speaks and how her score goes. Nancy, now we will move towards the second part of the interview, which is called cue card section.
Yes.
In this section, I'll give you a topic. You will get 1 minute to note down your ideas. You can think over it, and then you'll have to speak on this topic from 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So your cue card topic for today will be: describe an interesting place you visited that is open to public. Tell me when you visited there and where it is. Also what you liked about it, and explain your overall experience.
Yes.
So here's your cue card topic. Take your time and then speak.
Thank you. Shall I start, sir?
Yes.
I'm fond of traveling and I have visited many places in my life, but I am here to discuss about a place, rock garden, which I have visited about 2 months ago with my friends. We went to Chandigarh, and Chandigarh is a first planned city, and it has impressive architecture, and also I got to know that the rock garden is designed by Mr. Nek Chand Saini, who is also known as a green man of Haryana, because he planted about 1 lakh trees in Yamunanagar, and if he didn't plant that trees, so Haryana can't breathe in this time. So I think he is a very good person. As I told that I went there with my friends. We are Nikhil, me and my sister, and also Pooja, and we enjoyed every moment of this place. And Mr. Nek Chand Saini made his sculptures with the help of trash materials. They included like glass bangles and mud guards and etc. that we thought that they are waste material, but he used in to make these sculptures. And I think that he was a very creative person. And after traveling there, we took our lunch, and we enjoyed this trip very much, and we got to know that how trash is very important. And rock garden is also highlight the value of trash materials in our life, and his all sculptures are very beautiful, and anybody can't explain the beauty of the rock garden. And I think everyone should visit this place at least once.
Well, candidate Nancy's cue card was a little weaker than the introductory questions. In cue card section, she took a lot of pauses. Of course, as I mentioned, she had mother tongue influence a little bit, but that's not to worry. And although her ideas was clear, but she took time to to recall the idea, and then she spoke. And sometimes he was like looking out of the focus area. So, but that's okay. Your body language does not matter that much, although you have to look into the eyes of interviewer. You can give a mild hand expressions, but that's not a big deal. So we will analyze the whole interview again, of course, from the recording, and then we will get the band score, and we will let you know. From now onwards, we will try that we give you at least one interview with full analysis. That's what we are doing with this interview. So let's move to the final section, and let's see how she does in that particular section. Nancy, now we will move towards the last section of the interview. It's full of questions.
Yes.
Tell me, are you satisfied with the condition of places of public attraction in your country?
Well, I'm not fully satisfied with the conditions of public places like library, museum and parks. Primarily, there is a lack of cleanliness in these areas, and transportation is the another problem in this area. So transportation facility should be improved, and also people make aware about the conditions of these places.
Do you think that government should invest more in building public places such as museum, parks, etc.?
Yes, I think that they have to spend their appropriate money on the buildings like library, museum and parks, because parks are an apart part for human being. They can spend their leisure time with their family and friends, and I think library and museum educate people, and they serve as lighthouse for the students and our future generation. So I think they should need to spend more for this.
Do people show interest in visiting such places nowadays?
Now I think nowadays people have a hectic schedule, and so they are busy in their work and study. So I think they can't spend their time in such places like museum, library and parks. And but many students like to go library in a daily basis, and people go to park for evening and morning walk regularly, and also museum are famous for tourists and also those who are interested in history.
Should there be any entry fees at famous public places?
Yeah, I think there should be entry fees for public places, because it helps these places to ensure the unserious people keep away from these places, and the entry fees can be used to maintain these places. So I think there should be an entry fees for library and museum, but people comes to parks to relax and unwind, so I think there should be kept free from the entry fees in parks.
Are there any laws or penalty related to public places?
Yes, I think there are many rules and regulations about these places, and if anyone breach the law, penalized by authorities, and also smokers have punishable offense on it, and smokers have to keep away from these places.
So Nancy, that's all for your interview today. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
So now we have heard the whole interview of candidate Nancy. Main thing which I found out in this interview, that candidate Nancy has a mother tongue influence. She takes time to recall the idea and then to speak it. Although her ideas are quite clear, but she gives very short answers to some questions. And of course, such type of candidate needs a lot of practice. If you want to practice for speaking, there are lots of ways by which you can practice. You can practice in front of mirror. You can also find a friend and you can have talk with him every day in English. If you add the English in your life, if you use it in all the occasions of your life, then of course you will improve your English. For that, you can also try one thing, that you can make cue card sections for yourself. You can just try writing them down in your diary or notebook and then speak on that issue, and then you can also record your voice in your mobile, and you can later hear it and you can find out what problems were there. So candidate Nancy's interview was good, and I would rate it on a scale of 6 to 6.5.